Welcome, and thank you all for coming. The mission of the prestigious Inside Out lecture series is to bring the best minds of our generation, to borrow a line from Allen Ginsberg, to inspire and support the work students and staff do across the School of Art, Architecture and Design at Leeds Beckett University. We are therefore delighted to welcome back to Yorkshire one of the most significant artists working today, Martin Creed. He studied at the Slade School of Art in London and went on to win this country's leading award for contemporary art, the Turner Prize, in 2001. Many years ago, I was introduced to Martin at an exhibition in Leeds City Art Gallery where he had filled half the space in a given space with balloons. His hands were really full, so we ended up shaking hands with our hands upside down and back to front. This would seem the appropriate introduction to Martin Creed, whose work tends to turn your own thinking on its head. I know he has had a profound impact on both students and staff at Leeds Beckett University, with many of our students writing about his art in their final year degree dissertations. And our very own academic, Dr. Sean Ashton, wrote an entire chapter of his doctoral dissertation on work number 158, Something on the Left, Just as You Come In, Not Too High or Low. Myself, I am the proud owner of the 540th edition of work number 88, a sheet of A4 paper crumpled into a ball, which I have found to be an invaluable teaching tool. It very clearly communicates to students an expanded notion of what art can possibly be. When he was talking to Leeds TV earlier today, Martin Creed said he wouldn't be pompous enough to advise students on what they should do, but he would be happy to talk about what it means to make work. As he says in work number 470, work. This is work. This is hard work. Talking about work is work. Thinking is work. Words are work. He may be working tonight, but we are thrilled to have him here with us, and we have the very real privilege of seeing an amazing mind at work. Please join me in extending a very warm Yorkshire welcome to Martin Creed.
Hey, all right. Oh, thanks so much. Oh, that sounded great. Yeah, I'm here to talk, or to try and talk, but I don't know why I said but. I think I just automatically say that after anything positive. But yeah, I'd like to talk. I feel like talking helps, you know. It helps when you're stuck inside yourself, as I am now. You know, I'm looking at you, and I'm wondering what I should do. And because I don't want it, because I want to do, because I'd like to do something. You know, I don't. I hate feeling fake. You know, and I often feel fake, and I think I feel fake sometimes when I don't feel true. You know, but that's easy to say, but it's not so easy to say what true is. You know, and I think that. But I feel, I know I'm being fake when I feel uneasy. I think often I feel uneasy. And I know I'm being true when I feel really bad, you know. Although that's quite easy to say as well. But, you know, in fact, everything's quite easy to say, or a lot of things are easy to say, probably. I mean, words are easy to use, relatively easy, not that easy, but not. What I mean is that, but they're not. You know, it's easy to say things, but I think it's not easy to find things to say that match up to the way that you feel. and I think that's a great problem. Because I'd like to try to communicate with you and with other people outside of myself, because I feel like that helps as well. Well, now I'm getting into an area that I don't feel sure about. Because I don't really know what, because I wonder, I was wondering why, why I'm here, which is what I'm trying to talk about. But, because I don't have something that over there that I want to talk about, that I've come. What? Yeah, now do I feel bad? Aye, I feel bad, aye. Because I feel like I'd like to, because, no, I don't really feel that bad. I mean, now I feel all right. Yeah. Aye, thanks. But, because, it's not... I feel like being polite is a big problem, because I want to be polite. I'm here. I'm partly here because I said that I would be here. But I'm also here because I want to be here. I wanted to be here, and now I'm here, and aye. But, yeah.
Martin,
Yeah.
what did you want from your art when you started making your artwork?
What
did you want from your artwork?
I don't know, really. I got into art because when I was growing up, I got taken around art galleries a lot when I was a kid. And
It's the same answer that I'd give, I don't know.
right.
It isn't really an answer, is it?
But I think that maybe it's I was into a lot when I was a teenager and trying to decide what to go to do, like what to study.
Yeah.
I was into a few different subjects, and now like English literature and psychology and music. And architecture, and they were all things that they were on the list of. But then in the end, art, I went to study fine art because I thought that you could kind of do all those things within that field.
Yeah.
You could basically do anything you wanted in that, and it was true. When I was at when I was at art school, you could do performances or whatever. People were, just throwing baked beans at the wall, and I think that's so. But
Big spectrum, isn't it, with lots of things?
Yeah.
That's what I love about art. It isn't just one thing, is it?
No, right, yeah.
I think the answer is there isn't an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye. Yeah, but I don't know what art. I don't really like talking about art because I don't know what art is. I don't.
It's a personal thing, isn't it? It's a personal thing. Like, yeah.
Aye.
Sometimes for me, I feel it's a self. I like, it's about me. Do you know what I mean? So it's not very. Sometimes my outlet's very personal.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Well, I suppose everything is. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to do a Christmas song. A feel-good song. I don't know if that Christmas isn't really necessarily a feel-good time, but it wasn't supposed to be a Christmas song. It just came out sounding like that, And I think it's true often when in almost anything you do, that you don't know what it's going to be like, you know, and it's hard to see it, like to see anything you do as other people see it, you know. And I didn't mean it to be like a Christmas song, mate, but that's wrong. Whatever you feel and whatever you want, whatever you do, whatever you don't, whatever you think, whenever you sink, wherever you stand, wherever's your land, it's you at the front and it's you at the back, it's you, it's you, it's you. Whatever you mind, whatever you find, whatever you touch, whatever's too much, it's you on the top and it's you underneath, it's you in the middle and it's you on the side, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you through and through. I want to do a song for my mum. My mum, I think she's like the only person that I can't say no to. Can't say no. Yeah, I know I can't say no. Yeah, I know I can't say no. Yeah, no, I know I can't say no. Yeah, I know I can't say no. Yeah, no, I know I can't say no. Can't say no to you, yeah, I don't know what to do, because I can't say no to you, yeah, no, I know I can't say no to you, I don't know what to do, because I can't say no to you, yeah, no, I know I can't say no, yeah, I know I can't say no, I know I can't say no. Yeah. Oh yeah, but that reminds me of love, and I'd like to do a love song. I want to go with you where you go, and I want you to go where I want you to go, 'cause I want you. Yes, I do. I want you to go where I want you to go. I want you. Yes, I do. Oh. Oh yeah, it's a video. But it's still photographs. I don't know if you call that a video. It's a slideshow. It's a border control, it's a border control, it's a border control, it's a border control, it's a border con, it's a border con, it's a border con, it's a border, it's a border, it's a bore, it's a bore, it's a bore, it's a bore, it's a bore. Yeah, I'll just stop that there and I think that those people are not happy, and I think it's very inhuman and very brutal to draw lines in the world, and I think that's true of lines drawn on the land in the form of country borders. But it's also true when if you're making a drawing with lines on a piece of paper, or doing anything that you do, that's definite. Anything that's definite seems to me really brutal, because I feel like the world is very indefinite, and it's all blobby and blurry. I feel like I don't know what anything is, or where. I don't know where I end and the world begins, because I can only feel it from me, So, and it feels like a blobby mass, And doing anything is trying to narrow the world down and drawing straight lines in it feels very brutal to me. This is a song I wrote when it was at the time when the refugee crisis started in Europe there. But although that seems stupid to say that, because I think there's always a refugee crisis, But anyway, the one that got called a refugee crisis, that when people were trying to reach Europe. But yeah, I wouldn't like you to. I wouldn't like you to. I feel like when one talks, when people talk, I feel like there's a danger that it can sound like that you know what you're talking about. Or that you think you know what you're talking about, because I think that's words are kind of definite or have the appearance of definiteness about them. It might make, and I wouldn't like you to think that I think I know what I'm talking about. And but the thing is, I think that I'd like to the indefinite nature of everything that's constantly changing, with everything changing and moving when you're alive, I think that leads to a tendency to try and fix things, and I think the great problem in trying to fix things is not to kill them, but if you want to make something or do something, you have to basically fix something, you have to fix it. In other words, when I say fix, I don't mean mend, I mean, make definitive. But for example, to come here today, you had to, this is quite a relatively small area, in quite a big city, and so to come here, it's a very precise thing to do, to come here, at 5:30, and so when you're doing that, when you come here, you're not going to all those other parts of Leeds, and I always think that I thought I had a train of thought going on there, but I think the great, it's the fact that I don't know how communication works, And, I think there's a lot of different problems. One is a problem it's very difficult to pin anything down. And if you do, basically, usually it's dead. The definition of I think, of something that's under control is something that, like, isn't moving and is totally, and has no life in it, which is why it's controllable, which means it's dead, And that situation might be one that makes you feel better in some ways, but then you're left, you're living with a dead guy. Not that it's necessarily a guy, I don't know what I'm talking about here, but but the other way is really scary as well, because either you're living with a dead guy or you're living with a fucking alive guy, and that's and that's just as bad. And both of them are smelly. Yeah. Aye. So the problem, I think, is how to do something without pinning things down, but pinning it down enough so that you don't go crazy. It's like with the border. The border. Like I think country borders are terrible because how can you just draw a line like that? And I feel like I think that when you cross country borders, I always feel I hate border control. I'm sure most people do. It feels inhuman. But the thing about that is, then if I think about that, I think, oh well, but I lock my door. At night. I've got my own borders. I've got my clothes and my hair and that. And I've got my flat with my door, which I lock. And so then when I think about that, I think, oh yeah, but how's that very different from a country with locked doors, But except I think it is slightly different. But I'm not really sure how different it is. But so I don't know. I feel like things can get very, very confusing. And now I feel like I'm holding forth. Shit. Yeah, I've been working on some things. I've been trying to work on some things that I brought. There's one. Yeah. Yeah, I'll play. I've been working on this song that I wanted to play to you. This is like a demo that I've been working on, of this song. This is what I've been working on at home. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck am I? What the fuck am I? What the fuck am I seeing? What the fuck am I hearing? What the fuck am I smelling? What the fuck am I seeing? What the fuck am I doing? 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 I can't believe my eyes. What the fuck am I doing? I can't believe my ears. What the fuck am I doing? I can't believe my nose. What the fuck am I doing? I can't believe my mouth. I can't believe, I can't, What the fuck am I doing? 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 What the fuck am I feeling? What the fuck am I feeling? I can't believe my heart. I can't believe my heart. What the fuck am I thinking? What the fuck am I thinking? I can't believe my head. I can't believe my head. Where the fuck am I going? Where the fuck am I going? I can't believe my feet. I can't believe my feet. What the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Right, goes on. What the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I feeling? I can't believe my heart. What the fuck am I thinking? I can't believe my head. Where the fuck am I going? I can't believe my feet. What the fuck am I doing? I can't believe, I can't believe, I can't believe, I can't believe, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't. What the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck am I, what the fuck am I, what the fuck am I doing? What. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. I was thinking about something but I forgot it. Yeah. I hate forgetting things. I hate. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I remember now. I think that song. I was trying to work on that in a way like it's taken from kind of voice. You can probably hear some of those. It's bits that are pieced together. Some of it's recorded for the track, but some of the backing tracks are bits that I recorded on my voice memo on my phone, and I was going back and trawling through voice memos to find little things that I'd recorded, and I've been trying to work like that quite a lot, not just with music, but in also with visual works, but. And when I say work like that, I mean that to not think that of working as like or trying to make something as well as that you're kind of trying to create this. Well, not thinking of it really as trying to make something that you have to. So you're not. It's not like I've got to make this master piece thing that I've got, but it's more that the process of working is more looking at or studying or analysing what you actually have done. you know, and when you what you've done when you actually didn't think that you were, you know, that you're doing it. Like if you're walking along the street and you've got an idea and it comes in, you know, and you write it down or whatever, and so I've been trying to work by stringing those things together, you know, rather than a way that I think I used to work more, where I would kind of sit down and like, okay, I need to really try, you know, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately, you know, that it's more or less a matter of trying to. So when it's a matter of trying to accept what you have done, rather than try and create what you want to do, you know, and because I feel often that I feel like you know, that it's like that one kids oneself a lot, you know, all the time. I think that's probably about one of the only ways that it's possible to really live without being too depressed, you know, is to more or less, you know, kind of think that you're great, you know, and just even in a mini way, you know, that gives you the confidence to do things without just thinking, oh fuck, man, this is just, you know, this is too difficult, which is. But that makes me think that there's a lot of delusion involved in living life, you know, without going crazy, and that one kids oneself a bit, and I think that I think that happens in a way that. Because I was trying to talk about being polite, you know, feeling I don't want to be rude to you because I want you to like me, you know. So, so as you know, I was here on time, and actually I'm sorry it took so long to get in. I feel bad about that. But I think that you know, it's clear that and that can make you feel fake, because I fear that if I'm totally honest, people won't like me, you know. So I'm trying to be honest because I don't like feeling fake, but I don't want you to hate me. So I'm not like I don't know. I don't think I'm necessarily really. I don't think it's possible to be aware of what you're doing anyway, you know, exactly. But I do think it's possible, like within, like it's easy to, I feel like it's easy to see that one like being polite to other people is, you know, probably a good idea, you know, but I think it's possible that inside yourself you can be polite with yourself, you know, and I think that is the real problem that I'm trying to talk about. That being polite to yourself, you know. So if you've got difficult thoughts that come up, or if you run into a difficulty in your head or your heart, you know, it's quite likely that when you reach that, it's like if you're walking along the street and there's a fight on the street, you know, you probably would instinctively, you know, walk around, you know, cross the road or whatever. And get away, you know, you wouldn't stop and take part in the fight, you know, probably not. But you know, but I think that's good because that's self-preservation. But inside yourself, you come across those fights on the street. I think that I do often, you know, or I come across a fucking bastard dick with a knife, you know, in my head, you know. And that's me, probably, you know. Well, it must be me because there's no one else in there, you know. But I cross the street, you know. I cross the street to get away from him, and then, you know. Well, I'm telling you about him now, so. But it's not really, you know. There isn't really a guy with a knife. I don't think there is. Fuck. it's possible. So so you're polite, So you meet this guy that you don't like, and you're just like, yeah, and you're nice to him, and you don't tell him what you really think because you don't want to have a fight with him, But and then when you get home, you think, oh, fucking, why didn't I tell him what I really thought, and why wasn't I more courageous, But the thing is, when it's yourself you're talking about, or when you can't get away from him, him or her, but. And so I feel like when you do things, you're always taking, one that is inclined to take the route of least resistance always, and I feel like I'm really aware of that I'm aware of that problem when I'm working, because I think that the route of least resistance ends up with, for me, with like sitting on the sofa, not going out, watching TV, and not especially now, because it might not last, but at the moment I earn money from doing this work that I do. I earn a living from it, and so I can't. I can sit on the sofa. I could sit on the sofa before, but I used to be on the dole. Mind you, I could sit on the sofa then because I was on the dole. But in the bit in between, when I wasn't on the dole, and before I had enough money to live on, then I couldn't sit on the sofa, but so anyway, now I just think I'm going up my arse. Sorry, I feel I'm being quite negative. I don't want to. It's much easier to, I think that being, when things are bad, that is what makes you do things. I think for me, it's like when things are good, I don't want to do. It's like you want to just keep them like that. But when things are bad, that's what makes you do things. I think that. So I think that's what. And I think it's difficult to talk about. Feeling good. If you're feeling bad and your thoughts are sad, pass them on to someone else. Pass them on, pass them on, pass them on, pass them on. Pass your bad feelings on, pass them on. Pass them on, pass them on, pass them on. Pass them on. Someone else, like a friend or a relative, like a friend or a relative. like a friend. Yeah. But I thought, but I was, I was thinking about the problem. I was thinking about the problem of, the kind of problem that I think that one kids oneself, and that you don't necessarily tell yourself what you really think and feel because you don't want to hear it, And so I was trying to write a song about how I felt. I was trying to figure out how I could know how I feel, given that I probably don't really feel like that because I'm kidding myself, And so I thought if I could try and trick myself by writing down the opposite of what I was feeling, or what I thought I was feeling, then I thought maybe, that way it might be closer to what I was really feeling, if I'm running away from my feelings. So that's it. This is this song I'm going to play. I wrote down the opposite of what I was feeling. Happy, liking things, yeah. Yeah. Hi. Understanding. I wish I didn't know things. 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 It does my head in. It does my head in. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Everything is moving. Everything is moving. Everything is moving. Everything is moving. Everything. Yeah, everything. Yeah, everything. Yeah, everything. And this is no exception. This is no exception. This is no exception. This is no exception. And neither is this. 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 And so are we. And so are we. And so are we. And so are we. If you're stuck in your head and you can't stop thinking, what can you do? 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 Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can meet other people, you know. You can meet other people and hang out with them. I think that's the thing, you know. But I think that, you know, communicating with other people helps. You know, I think that's why. That's the thing. You know, that definitely helps. But I think that you know, I don't. And I think I want to communicate. You know, and that is what I'm trying to do. You know. But I don't know. I don't know what I want to communicate, you know. But I want to try to be true. But I think it's very difficult to know whether you are communicating, you know, because because maybe other people are being polite, you know, or whatever, you know, and because I think, you know, it's like a really obvious example of indirect communication, you know, is the fact that everyone kind of like seems to agree that, you know, that often, like, it's not the things that people say, but it's the often, but the way that they're saying it and the body language that tells you, you know, what they're really saying or feeling, you know, and it's very indirect. And I was thinking that it's like a good metaphor for like the indirect form of communication is that it's like it's like when you're going along in a car on the motorway, and next to the motorway there's a train track, and and sometimes you're in the car and you can see people on the train, you know, and you could even wave to them. You know, and you can see they're going in the same direction. They're definitely going in the same direction as you are, maybe a wee bit faster. But you know, there's no way that you can get on the train, and there's no way they can get in the car. But you're definitely going in the same direction, and I feel like that is the way that communication works. It's not, you know, it's not direct. It's more of a kind of general rhyming type of a thing. It's something that you know. It's like it's like rhyming, like the rhyming of a car and a train. It's not the same thing, but it rhymes, you know. And you know, but I think the way that it doesn't, I feel like the way it doesn't work is that you have, is that because that you, it's like, I don't think it works like you have an idea about something and then you try to communicate that to other people and then they, you know, receive that idea or whatever, you know. I just don't think it's like that. I don't know, but you know, so it's a problem. I feel like it's a problem to do things because it's so indirect, you know. And anyway, this was a work I made last year, and it was in New York, and I wanted to, you know, I got invited to do something in a park in New York, and I wanted to do something that was, for want of a better expression, like a peace monument, you know, or something like that. Because it was quite near Ground Zero where the World Trade Center thing happened, and it was just also it was at the height of the refugee crisis pretty much when I did this, and I was doing those. I did that kind of border control thing because I've been thinking a lot about me, about what I've been doing in my little wank world, you know, in relation to the world where people are, you know, dying and can't even eat, you know. And yeah, me with my locked doors, advocating, you know, no borders or whatever, you know. But I've just been thinking a lot about these kind of things. And last year, so when I get invited to do this thing in New York, I just thought, fuck, I want to try and do something that's, you know, you know, something like that. But this. First of all, it's like this is in a park and it goes next to the river, and I thought of having a work in 3 parts that would say 3 signs saying peace, love, and understanding, and just like that kind of hippie expression. And anyway, in the end, it was too expensive to do these 3 works, because, you know, that's really expensive to make. It spins round, and so peace, love, and understanding had to get cut down due to economic realities. And so I was trying to choose which between them, you know. I was trying to choose between them, and then in the end, I thought that it more or less took care of itself, because I thought that it's obvious, you know. In the case of peace, you know, I don't believe that it's you know. I think that conflict is a part of life, and that in fact the lack of conflict is almost like a definition of death, because if you're alive, you're kind of, it's you know, it's a struggle to live. It's work to live. Your heart, physically, your beating heart. Never mind the mental shit, which is much worse than keeping your heart going. But you know, it's work and conflict, and it seems like that conflict is part of, whether it's internal or whether it's with other people. And I think conflicts with other people anyway just tend to be more or less an expansion of your own internal conflicts. You know that. You know. You know, people more or less hate other people because they hate someone in themselves or something like that. You know, but so I thought, I thought in the case of peace, in a way, you know, it's not really. That's like more like a kind of ideal that's not necessarily a reality, or can't really be a reality. And then in the case of love, I also thought that that's a. I thought in the case of love that love doesn't really take care of the people you don't like, you know. So it doesn't include them, or in a way, love doesn't include the people you don't love. So and therefore it's kind of exclusive, you know. Even though the people you hate, probably you kind of love them in a way, but oh shit. But I thought that in a way that I thought love was like it was like kind of ideal, and I thought that the only word that was really applicable in every situation, in the world was understanding. That, you know, that basically it's possible to try to understand, you know, whereas I don't know if it's possible. I don't think it's really possible to try to love, you know, and therefore understanding is more utilitarian. And I thought that was so of the 3 words, I thought that was maybe the one to use, if I can use that word. Yeah. But Are there any questions?
Were you happy the way it turned out? The one word, understanding.
Aye. The reason that it spins round, and it spins round.
Can you stand under it?
Yeah, you can stand under it.
Wow. Good.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that was very important that you can stand under it. But the reason it spins round is because it takes care of the problem for me of like, you know, well, any kind of decision, like which way something should face, to me is a problem. You have to, any decision you make, if you're doing something, it's like you know, drawing a line, making a border. It's like you're making a judgment between two sides, and so any decision that kind of takes care of everything, like having it spin round, takes care of what direction it's facing in, you know. And then, so it's just a solution. And then apart from the fact that then, I mean, that was the reason for it spinning round. But then when it spins round, you know, turns out it's fun, you know. And I wish I could show you that. But you can imagine it. Yeah. But I wanted to try and show you something. So I've been doing a lot of portraits, you know. Oh yeah, but is there any other questions though as well? I don't want to like.
Question,
yeah.
I find that a lot of your work over the years is sort of asked the question of quite often something along the lines of what do you think? You know, what do you make of this? Are you thinking? And I've always viewed you as being someone that's got a generous spirit, quite good sense of humour. But from what you're saying this evening, it sounds as though maybe you feel as though you're asking the question in quite maybe a negative way, quite maybe even aggressive.
Wow.
I still think you're quite a very generous spirited person. But this feeling of feeling bad, I mean, do you think that sometimes you're taking a negative view of your audience?
No. No way. No way. No, not of other people. Jesus. No.
Don't feel bad then.
Yeah, no, but I've been trying to talk about the feelings, about my feelings, and you know, I do work to try and feel better, because I feel bad a lot of the time, you know. And working helps me to, you know, and communicating with other people in whatever different ways that is, helps, you know. But yeah.
Do you feel that you need to talk about your work, or that like talking about things seems like the last thing that you want to do, to a certain extent? You seem like you want to share as much as you possibly can.
Aye.
Take everybody with you, or at least have as many people come in as possible.
Aye.
Talking about it doesn't do it.
Well, I think talking about it isn't, you know. I think the words aren't good enough, you know, and but I do feel like words help, you know, and I think I try. I do. I use words because I feel like it can help in the scheme of the whole of everything, that it does help, that talking helps, you know.
It kind of guides you.
To kind of string things together. Yeah. But I do feel like it's never, you know, good. Words just never seem to match up to the feelings, you know. And it's always approximate, you know. And some more stupid ways of doing things with shapes sometimes can, you know, you know, like kind of can feel more true. But I think words are kind of funny, because I think they've helped me and hindered me a bit. But when I was at art school, I felt there was a great pressure to explain your work, you know, and in seminars and stuff like that. And I think I started making work that could be explained using words, you know. And that because I feared so much the seminars and the...
That seems to be a problem with education, not just art.
Aye,
The kind of education that you're taught and that you should know.
aye,
You're supposed to have the answers, otherwise you're wrong.
yeah.
And that's just bullshit.
Yeah, well, I agree. But on the other hand, I think I found that I feel like that, because I feel like I was trying to say, I don't think I've got. I want to try to, you know, communicate more or less what I experience, or like just trying to get through the day, or, you know, trying to feel better in this life, you know. And that's pretty much it. But and sometimes words can help, I feel like, to string together the story of the trying, you know, because when you're just presented with a finished, I sometimes feel with finished works, when they're presented, that they very, very often don't show the struggle in them. It just seems quite easy and throwaway in that, you know. So, in a way I don't like that. But yeah.
Like I'm into this whole thing about words being a sort of aid to sort of find an easier route into what the work might be getting at, as opposed to getting into the actual work. Like this tonight, you know what I mean? Like this situation right now.
Uh-huh.
You know, when we're talking.
Yeah.
Speech exists outside of art work.
Yeah.
It's what we do, sort of communicate with each other. I find it kind of interesting how art works. Like right now, there's like a portrait there.
Yeah.
That's kind of a situation that you can construct, you know, by setting a few paintings in a room. You know what I mean? That's kind of something that art can allow, and kind of making a situation where there is an absence of words. I mean, apart from titles, I guess. But you know what I mean? You've got a set of rules that you're making kind of a situation where things can happen and people can kind of encounter.
Yeah.
You know, the headspace that you're in when you're kind of making these works, or at least you're envisioning to put these works.
Yeah.
So to use these works as sort of tools to do that. And that's why it's interesting, like when you're doing music, because music's kind of language, you know, and that's the words.
Aye.
So they're kind of elevated to something, a musical experience.
That's not elevated.
But it's kind of cool. I don't know. It's quite like it seems like you have quite a natural ear for music as much as you do for the other stuff.
But
Like
to me,
you do for language kind of thing.
aye. But to me, it's all mixed up. To get, I don't. I feel like it's a soup of words, you know, which have meanings, but then you know, it's all mixed up together.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you can separate the words from the meanings of the words, and the meanings of the words are going to be changeable anyway between people, and you know, but I think it can be a pitfall as well, because it can seem as if words, it can sometimes seem as if words do explain things, you know, but they don't, you know.
That's why it's good. So I think
But
the way you always look at sort of tricky, like a trickster kind of thing, you know, it's the tricks.
aye,
Being tricked in like kind of an ambiguous way. It's not, you know what I mean?
aye,
But it's interesting that way.
aye. But I feel like talking helps, you know. And
Yeah, it's revealing what words are, I guess.
Aye.
And what it is and what music is. By doing that the way you're doing it, I think.
aye, maybe. You know, is that still working? Yeah. But, you know, they say that people, you know, when they're having arguments, that are the more, in a way, when people argue, it's more, and fight, in a way, they're often more true. They might say things that are hurtful, but you might be, in a way, more true to yourself when you're kind of slightly out of control. And I was thinking about that, and this song is based on an argument that I had, an actual argument. We are bitten down and clamped on. We won't let go. We're joined like dogs. We're bitten down and clamped on. We won't let go. We're joined like dogs. Yeah, I was thinking about the. Actually, I once saw a dog fight. I was with Robert there. When two dogs were clamped on. Do you remember that? Aye, the two dogs were kind of clamped onto each other's necks. Aye, and they wouldn't let go. And there was a guy with a stick. Was it you? There's a guy with a stick. There's a guy with a stick trying to separate them. So I was thinking about that. The two dogs joined together. But I was also thinking about, boxers. I often think about this. It's a brilliant thing that boxers, when they're fighting, hug each other to so that they don't hit each other. I just think that's a brilliant, brilliant thing, and I think that's probably a good way to live your life. Like a boxer. We are bitten up and down, joined like dogs. I'm understanding, I'm understanding, I'm understanding, I'm understanding. Listening, I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm listening. Understanding, I'm understanding, I'm understanding, I'm understanding. We were arguing, and I was saying I'm a victim, and you were saying I'm a victim, and I was saying I'm a victim. It was as if you were really saying what it felt like you were saying. Quotation marks, quotation marks. You were saying, I was saying, I'm a victim. No, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. No, I'm a victim. No, I'm a victim. No, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. No, I'm a victim. No, I'm a victim. No, I'm a victim. Understanding, I'm understanding, I'm understanding, I'm understanding. Listening, I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm listening. I was thinking that's the way arguments go. Usually I think that, each side thinks they're the victim, and then the winner of the argument is the one that gets to be the victim. Yeah, so I was trying to. Maybe I'll just do. I never got on to talking about people. I was trying to, but. Because I've been doing these portraits, this is done without looking at it. It's I put the painting in a box so that I can't see it, so that I'm free from what it looks like, and I don't trust my eyes as well. When I look at things, I think, well, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm looking at, what is that like? Is that a good red, or what's that shape? So to free myself from that, I started doing these paintings in the box. But, but you know, I mix up the colours, like sighted. I'll mix up the colours, trying to be true to nature. But then I'd do the painting in a box, and you know, and then it's much easier to finish paintings that way, you know, because I'm more or less like I write down what I've done, you know, the nose, the hair, all that, and then when I feel like I've ticked off all the basically salient features, then it's finished, you know, and I'm not sitting around deciding whether it's finished or not because I can't see it, you know. And I think that then, and I've been trying to do, it's a bit like that song I was talking about, we're trying to write down the opposite of the way that I feel. Is like, I feel like it's a matter of trying to find tricks of ways of tricking yourself or avoiding your own pitfalls. But the other thing I was thinking about is that, because I was thinking that, you know, I think I only do work because of other people, and it's not, you know, even though I know I've been talking like a wanker probably about my own thoughts, but you know, I think I work because of other people, because I want to be loved, and I want to communicate. I like the communicate. I like it with other people, you know. But so doing portraits, you know, like doing that is like, you know, there's another person there, you know, and so it's like a direct. I think that's why I started doing the portraits, because I thought I need to do work with people live, you know. Because often, you know, you're working in your studio all kind of like, you know, with your tea and biscuits and that. Or you can have tea and biscuits with someone else there as well. But So I got into trying to do. I thought I tried to do some portrait songs, you know, after doing these paintings. So I'm going to try and do this one. This is a song about a friend of mine who's my oldest friend, who got married last year, and she asked if I'd do a song at her wedding, and so I thought I'd try and write one about her. And the only thing I could think of about her as her main thing is that she doesn't like walking anywhere. She's a friend, she's a girl, she's a woman, she's a bride. But she's not a walker, she's not a walker, she's not a walker, she's not a walker, she's a princess. And she's a taxi girl, and I don't mind. Princess taxi girl, I don't mind. Princess taxi girl, I don't mind if I do. She's diplomatic, she's enigmatic, she's not dramatic, she's telepathic, she's not a stalker, and she's not a talker, and she's definitely not a walker. She's a girl, she's a woman, she's a princess, she's a bride, she's a party girl, and she's a taxi girl. Princess taxi girl, I don't mind. Princess taxi girl, I don't mind if I do mind. All right, hey, thanks a lot for having me here in your nice place. I got myself into a mind trap, and now I'm looking for a mind trap map. I got myself into a mind trap, and now I'm looking for a mind trap map. I can't get out of this mind crap. I'm looking for a mind crap gap. Left and right and up, down and around and back, through and across and along. Bit by bit by bit, I got myself into a mind trap, and now I'm looking for a mind trap map. I can't get out of this mind crap. I'm looking for a mind crap gap. Hey, cheers. Hey, nice talking to you.